Hey guys, it's the Time Day here, and I'm going to be talking about Infinite Warfare. This is my thoughts, this is what I think, my opinion, all that sort of stuff. So, anything I say, don't take as fact, or at least don't take it in a way that, oh, you're wrong. It's just my opinion, that's all. So, we're going to be talking about the campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. If you didn't know, zombies is returning. Well, not returning, but it's been implemented now into Infinite Warfare. But we're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about campaign first. So what we know about the campaign is that it's obviously set in the far future. We've been told that it's going to be making Black Ops 3 look like it was set in the Stone Age. So in terms of let's talk about movement first off. So in the trailer we see thrust jumping. At least that's what it looks like. I'll put up a screenshot now of, or at least a little animation of what that was in the trailer. That's quite similar to the Black Ops 3 movement system where you jump up, you thrust up, you have like a thruster pack. I'm not going to be too hassled about that. I'm not. It's not a case of me basically being like, oh, we need to be boots on the ground, we need to be running and sprinting and stopping and running, sprinting, stuff like that. Like, I don't mind the movement system. I didn't mind exosuits. If exosuits came back, I wouldn't be too pissed off. I'd be a little bit annoyed because that's taking another game's mechanics and putting them in their game, which again that's kind of doing the same thing as what Black Ops 3 had, but obviously it's not to the point where it's a straight copy. We don't know if that's just the NPCs doing that. You might not have the ability to do that. Again, multiplayer is a main obviously the campaign. It can have any mechanic in it, and then not have it in multiplayer. That'd be perfectly fine for me. If there's thrust jumping in the campaign but not on multiplayer, then again that's fine. I wouldn't mind if it was on multiplayer either. But thrust jumping, I'd be okay with that. That's perfectly fine. From what we can see though, it looks like with normal guns, there's a few guns that shoot what looks to be electricity, or at least some sort of laser. But what that looks like, because I saw a certain type of gun which was shooting normal bullets, and then a couple of shots later, the exact same gun but shooting like an alternative ammo. Like that was the lightning laser type ammo that I saw. So I don't know if that's just an alternative like fire type. Because obviously you can have incendiary rounds, explosive rounds, stuff like that. But then again, we don't know how far-fetched in the future or what the technology's like. Obviously we can go to space. Like that's a thing. We can go to space, which you see in the trailer, which you look like you're having sort of dogfights in the sky in space. You can physically go to other planets. There is settings on other planets, so we're not just restricted to Earth. So basically the story, as we know anyway, from the live stream that just happened about half an hour ago. So basically, the Earth's running out of resources, or they have run out of resources. So that's kind of like a real life thing. We are slowly but surely running out of things like oil, coal, stuff like that, whatever, to obviously make energy and all that sort of things. And these outposts scattered in our solar system, so we're not going to be far-fetching out towards other galaxies. It's not Star Wars. We're not going to be hitting light speed, going anywhere else. It's in our solar system, the Milky Way, as people like to call it. So we'll probably be visiting planets like Mars and Saturn and stuff like that. And these outposts have these resources that we need. And then there's this faction called Settlement Defense Front, which basically want to control all these outposts. So that's why they're basically like coming into us, or like basically destroying us and basically saying that we're in charge, where you can do what we want. If you don't do what we want, we'll kill you, sort of thing. So they want to control all the outposts for the resources, and obviously they'll get tons of money that way if they manage to get a hold of all that. Basically sort it all out and basically like, right, we've got all the resources ever. You have to pay us so much to get these resources. So I believe that's what they're trying to do, because in the trailer also we see that we didn't know that this attack was coming. We didn't know it was at all happening. We were so unprepared that we got overwhelmed. So yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see where they go with the story. Obviously with space and stuff, what kind of mechanics are we going to have there? We've had mechanics from space in Ghosts, so we kind of know what combat in space may be like. But again, with the movement system, we don't know if there's going to be thrust packs, or you're going to have some sort of jetpack in terms of like in the astronaut suit, not in it like in the jet, because obviously you can see in the trailer with a jet like actually flying around shooting stuff, which is I'm not quite sure if that would transfer to multiplayer. I hope not. But they did say in the live stream that even though yes it's in space, but it's still going to be what makes Call of Duty CoD in a sense. That's kind of what they said. So it's not like we're going to be doing plane fights, well, jet fights and stuff, which you see in the likes of like Battlefront and Battlefield. That's not CoD. I mean, we had vehicles in CoD 5, but that was tanks and stuff. That's a bit different. But I think that's all I want to really cover on campaign. I mean, that's the main premise, where we've got environments, different planets, stuff like that. But the weapons, again, it looks like we're just using normal firearms, nothing too extravagant. But then again, it's only a teaser, we don't know what we're getting to see yet. So next we're going to talk about multiplayer. So the universe of Infinite Warfare, obviously we can go to space, we can go to different planets. It's been confirmed that we can go to different planets, or at least not go to different planets, but there is going to be maps set on different planets. So not just going to be restricted to Earth. So we're going to be going to different planets again, like I mentioned, like Mars, Venus, Saturn. I'm not saying that we are going to them planets, but at least that's what I think. Obviously, they said Earth, so I'm imagining that it's going to be our solar system. They're not going to make up a solar system with Earth in it. So it looks like we're going to be going to them planets, and there'll be maps set on there. So the environments are going to look really pretty. You can see in the trailer at least another planet within the atmosphere, or at least in the background, in the scenery. So that looks cool. So at least the maps are going to aesthetically look cool. Back from when I was talking about the campaign, the thrust pack, or at least the jump thrust, again, we see the NPCs doing it, we don't see yourself doing it, so I don't know if that's going to be transferred to multiplayer. Again, I wouldn't be too bothered if they did. I'm quite happy with the Black Ops 3 movement system. I'd like to think that I was good at the movement. I wouldn't oppose it. I'm not saying I want to have a normal movement system like CoD 4, World at War, all the older games, should I say. Everything before Advanced Warfare. I'm not saying that I want that, but I'm not saying I don't want that. It would be nice, like, to go back to that. But then again, with it being so far in the future, I feel there's got to be some sort of movement mechanic that's going to enable us to have some sort of advantage, rather than just running around. We're going to have some sort of ability anyway, which I'm going to talk about in a second, with the abilities and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see until we get more gameplay. Obviously, coming up the months and stuff, we're definitely going to get a lot more gameplay. So it's not a case of like speculating stuff now and waiting until release. We'll get multiplayer stuff. So, but yeah, next, abilities. Again, that ties in with specialist abilities. I don't think we'll have specialists in Infinite Warfare. That's more of a Black Ops 3 thing. I like the idea, having a specialist, but I don't feel that Infinite Warfare would drag that into the game. It kind of feels like if they did that, that's kind of copying. That was like a Black Ops 3. It was new. It was a Black Ops 3 signature. I think to take that immediately and put it into Infinite Warfare, I feel would be a bit sly, a bit cheap on Infinity Ward's end. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. They did say that there's a lot of new tacticals and lethals that are going to be used. Like, not going to be used, but there's a whole wide range of them. So again, with it being so far in the future, you've got to think of what things they could have. Obviously different types of grenades, different types of stuff like trophy systems and stuff like that. Because obviously with how high tech grenades could be a case of that the grenades don't even get picked up by trophy systems and stuff like that. So obviously they're not going to be called trophy systems. You never know, they might be. You might not. There's no need to change the name, so obviously they'll get called grenades. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what kind of stuff we've got in terms of weaponry as well. Obviously, I mentioned before that we had that what looks to be alternative fire, or it could be an ammo type. That's another thing that potentially could be type of ammo. Rather than having standard ammunition, you have electronic ammunition. Well, not electronic, lightning. So you know what I'm talking about, like a type of fire. Obviously I mentioned explosives and secondary stuff like that. So that could be potential, or it could just be a secondary type of fire on the weapon, like an attachment sort of thing. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I haven't really got much to talk about multiplayer. It's just the movement. We don't know anything about the movement apart from what we saw in that trailer. Again, that could just be the NPC's movement system. We might not have that ability. You never know. But lastly, zombies. Now, we've been given an image for zombies, and there's something that I immediately pointed out. I posted it on the Reddit. I'll put the link in the description. It's only got a few comments and a few people talking about it at the minute. But at the moment, that image, it's a movie reel, and it's like it kind of reminds me of like a B movie type thing, because it's like cartoony. You've got the popcorn, the red velvet floor, the blood, stuff like that, and that reminds me of B movie. And then again at the top, as you can see here, it has 19-ATVI-85. Now that could just be taking in sort of like, I don't know, as something on the reel. But the way I looked at it was, if you take off the dashes and the ATVI, you have 1985, which could potentially set a time period for the zombies in Infinite Warfare, because the devs said that Infinite Warfare does not tie in with the story or the universe. I'm not quite sure what words they exactly said, but doesn't tie in with the universe of Infinite Warfare's campaign. So the zombies is its own thing. It's got nothing to do with Infinite Warfare, so it might not even touch space at all. It might not even be futuristic, because this is what I feel anyway. I'm not sure if it would go B movie, but it might. We don't know what kind of take they're going to do on it, because with Treyarch and Sledgehammer Zombies, it had a realistic kind of feel to it with all the special stuff that you had. But then this looks like it could be a fun cartoony twist on it. So I don't know, but that's all the information we really have right now. That's all I can really speculate on it. I don't want them to kind of like try and copy. They said it's going to be an original Zombies experience, so that's good for them to say that, come out with that. That's a good incentive for us to think, right, okay, so they're not going to just completely copy Treyarch like Advanced Warfare Sledgehammer did. So that's exactly what they did. They had a round thing, they had an Easter egg type of main Easter egg, which I believe that Infinity Ward will also do with Infinite Warfare. Or at least I should say Infinity Ward Zombies, because it might not be called Infinite Warfare Zombies. We don't know what's going to be called. But they did say there's going to be Easter eggs, so that's good. I like the fact that they want to try and implement Easter eggs, but I just don't want them to try and copy. They need to do their own thing. They said it's going to be an original Zombies experience, so that's good. I like the sound of that. I'm quite interested now. I was a bit uncertain with the whole space thing, because before we got any information, before we had the live stream or anything, I kind of speculated that with it being in space, we could kind of see like an eerie type, like alien feel, like from the movies. It's dark, it's spooky. You could have a decent environment there, but obviously with the information that we have now, that kind of doesn't look like it's going to be a thing. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see until we get more information. Just let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like what I said, or if you agree with me, please let me know. If you have anything else you want to input, again, also let me know. Check the description as well. There'll be some links in there to images and Reddit posts and stuff like that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.